Good evening and welcome to the North Bend City Council meeting for October 7th, 2025. Will the clerk please call roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Mark Jocelyn,
Present.
Councilmember Brendan Elwood, Councilmember Alan Gotthelf,
Present.
Councilmember Heather Cullen,
Present.
Councilmember Christina Rustick,
Present.
Councilmember Susan Torgerson,
Here.
Councilmember Errol Tremolata. All are present with the exception of Councilmember Elwood and Tremolata, and they are both excused.
Thank you so much. Would you be kind enough to lead us in the flag salute?
United States of America, we consider which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening again, everybody. Happy to have you here online and in front of us as always. We will now move on to consent agenda. We have 7 items on our consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Here we go.
Second.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilmember Colin. It was the first and the second was Councilmember Gotthelf. Let's see, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to audience participation since we will no longer be taking public comment after every item on the main agenda. Now would be the time to come forward to the podium and comment on any agenda items or any other item you wish to speak about. If you request accommodation with the city clerk, let's see, and wish to speak through the virtual platform, please raise your hand and we will take your comments after in-person comments. Please remember to state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes to speak for the record. And particularly if there's an agenda item, and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Anybody wish to speak tonight? Okay, well, you're always welcome to speak.
Always got low energy.
No flat energy. You're right.
Hello. Deborah Landers, 14615 438th Avenue Southeast in North Bend. And I'm here once again representing North Bend Art and Industry, big surprise. So just a couple of updates. As you know, we've been in our new location since February. So what does that make it? 7 months? And we are growing so fast, it's just hard to keep up with. This month in October, we have over 32 events or classes booked in the center, and that's not including informal drop-ins. So we have just a huge amount of activities, a huge amount of influence on our community, and several of those events and drop-in informal opportunities are free to our community. So kind of exciting for us and also terrifying. But one of the new things that I wanted to talk to you about tonight is called Tuesday Muse Day. And you're all invited. It's next Tuesday from 6 to 8 o'clock. We've just started to have a local artist showcase wall at the center. And let me tell you, it's beautiful. We have 3 local artists that are highlighted for a 3-month period. So they'll be up on the wall for a quarter. And during that quarter, we have a designated day, which is Tuesday Muse Day, where we're going to host an informal reception for those artists. So we invite you to come meet the artists, look at their beautiful art, talk to them about their process. And of course, if you are just taken with one of their pieces of art, you can purchase it and they would love that. This is not a gallery. We are not taking funds from the artists. What they do instead is they donate a piece that we can then sell to help fund the operations for art and industry, but we don't take a percentage of their art that they're selling on the wall. So I'm going to pass out the invitations, 6 to 8. I'm going to supply wine. So I hope to see you all there. Well, thank you. I think that's it. Although we do have more things coming. I'll see you next month. Thank you so much. Any questions though before I dash off?
Any questions, Council?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Anybody else? Not supposed to. Anybody online, Bree or Phil? No? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to introductions. Item number 8, AB 25-016, resolution authorizing agreement with Northwest Railway Museum for Railway Crossing Improvement Project. Mr. Moore, would you like to provide that staff report for us tonight? And thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. As the mayor stated, this is an agreement between the Northwest Railway Museum and the city authorizing the construction portion of the railroad crossings project that is part of the city's current transportation improvement plan. This project consists of replacing 4 existing railroad crossings within town, located at the west end of town on North Bend Way, Northwest 8th Street just south of North Bend Way, and Bendigo Boulevard and Main Street crossings in the downtown area. There's also a vicinity map located on page 47 of the packet that shows these locations as well. One other portion of work is to relocate the railroad tracks between Bendigo and Main approximately 14 feet to the south, which will make room for the future McClellan Avenue improvements project scheduled for 2027 or 28, contingent on outside funding sources being obtained. Per this agreement, the Northwest Railway Museum will select the contractor, manage the contractor throughout construction, make direct payments to the contractor for work completed, and submit federal reimbursement paperwork necessary for the grant administered by the city. The city will be inspecting the project to make sure it's built per plan and will be submitting reimbursement requests for the federal funds on behalf of the Northwest Railway Museum, who will be a subrecipient of these funds. The city's inspection time will also be covered by this federal grant. The contract amount is not to exceed $4,571,276 for the construction phase of this project. And there's a local match with that. The city is currently working on traffic control plan reviews and scheduling with the Northwest Railway Museum, and the work is tentatively scheduled to start at the end of October. The staff in the Northwest Railway Museum are currently meeting with downtown businesses. Staff just actually went out today and met with the majority of the businesses downtown just to discuss the project, just to kind of give them a heads up on things. Staff brought this agreement to TPW in September, who recommended approval and placement on the main agenda for discussion. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Council, do you have any questions for Tom? Heather?
And how did the businesses react to you giving them this information?
From a brief discussion of Bree, it sounded like there was a lot of positive feedback on the project and just questions about what exactly was happening. But as we're not taking up any parking on McClellan Street, there didn't seem to be much concern.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from council? Councilmember Rustick.
You said end of October. That's end of October 2025, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anybody else I might have missed? No? Okay, Councilmember Colon, would you like to make the motion, please? Wonderful.
Motion to approve AB 25-016, resolution authorizing an agreement. Oh, I'm not on. An agreement with the Northwest Railway Museum for construction, engineering, and construction of the railway crossings capital project.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Just a point of clarification, the agenda bill is 106. You transposed them. That doesn't matter. I just want to be clear what's before us.
I'm sorry, that I had done that?
No, I think we're fine. We all understand what we're doing.
Okay, I'll read it again with care.
Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Godolph, thank you for the second. And before that, thank you for your motion, Councilmember Colon. Ms. Colon, would you like to speak to your motion?
I think this is a very important project that will help our town make it safer, provide more parking spots, get ready for the McClellan Alley project, and moving the tracks will be huge for the city.
Thank you. Mr. Godolph, would you like to add any?
No, I think Councilmember Colon did a great job.
Wonderful. Any other council members wish to speak on this? Okay, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
I just want to acknowledge the collaboration, and that it speaks to the competency of the staff that they continue to pursue opportunities like this and improve the quality of life for those of us living here in partnership with others. The city it's a huge return on investment for the city this going forward. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, the motion before us is to approve AB 25-106, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Northwest Railway Museum for construction engineering and construction of railway crossings capital project. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, one and all. Moving on to item number 9, AB 25-107. That motion authorizing agreement with Bauman for non-residential impact fees update. Mr. Cha, would you be kind enough to provide that report for us tonight? And thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, Martin Shaw, Finance Director. AB 25-107 authorizes the mayor to enter into an agreement with Bowman for a non-residential impact fee update. I do have a summary slide up on screen for you, council. Impact fees are authorized under state law for the listening public. An impact fee is a one-time fee that's assessed on new development. And under state law, it is intended to recover the proportionate share of system improvements from new development. This policy is consistent with North Bend's long-term policy of growth pays for growth. And our current impact fees for transportation and parks is codified under North Bend Municipal Code 17.36 and 17.38. This proposed study would focus on the non-residential impact fees for transportation and park fees. In this case, it applies specifically to hotel and motel operations. These two fees were last updated in 2015 and 2016, respectively. FCS Bowman would be able to start work in the fourth quarter of this year and anticipate completing their study by summer to fall of 2026. The value of the study is $77,500. Bowman is a financial consultancy based in Redmond, Washington, and they specialize in impact fee calculations for municipalities. This particular item was reviewed by two committees, Finance and Administration on August 12th, and the Community and Economic Development Committee on September 16th, and both committees recommended do pass. That concludes my remarks, and I'm available to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cha. Appreciate that very thorough report. Council, do you have any questions for Mr. Cha? Clarifying questions. Thank you, Ms. Councilmember Bristol.
Thank you. I understand the policy framework is set by the city. Is there a definition in what was provided that to Bowman on what growth pays for growth means? And to be clear about that, I understand that if a construction project, adds residential, for example, that it would contain that. But there's also other costs like police and fire and whatnot. So does the definition include things like that?
Yes, they'll be looking at the full scope of the intent of the fee, of the fees. And then number two is looking at the public infrastructure costs.
Okay.
And what portion of that investment applies to growth. And that's how they allocate the those portion of the proportionate share of the costs to future growth in calculating and updating the fees.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anybody else on council have any clarifying questions for Mr. Cha? Seeing none? Okay, Mr. Gottelf, would you be kind enough to read this motion?
Absolutely. Motion to approve AB 25-107, authorizing the mayor to execute and administer a professional service agreement with Bowman in the amount of $77,500 for non-residential impact fee study and alternatives in a form and content acceptable to the city attorney.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Cullen. Ms. Cullen is seconding, and thank you, Mr. Gottelf, for your motion. Okay, Mr. Gottelf, do you comment to your motion, please?
I think it's one of the things that, kind of housekeeping. We have not updated a lot of our impact fees for a while. A lot has happened from 2015 in the way of inflation and everything else. So it's time to get it updated.
Excellent. Ms. Cullen, do you have any comments you'd like to make?
I agree with everything that Councilmember Gotthealth said.
Anyone wish to comment any further from council? No? Okay, motion before us. Susan, pardon me.
I think it's a great idea to come around and look at these fees and have experts do that for us. But one of my big concerns right now is spending money. We have this huge deficit we need to cover. And so I'm not going to support it tonight until we get a real grasp on our expenses and figure out what we are going to need to reduce to be able to balance our budget next year. So maybe we can, if it doesn't pass tonight, then maybe we can do it next year. But tonight, I'm not going to support it.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Okay, motion before us is to approve AB 25-107, authorizing the mayor to execute and administer a professional services agreement with Bowen in the amount of $77,500 for a non-residential impact fee study and alternatives in a form and content acceptable to the city attorney. All in favor?
Point of order,
Yep.
please. Being we have got a quorum here, does the pass based on majority, or does it have to be I'm assuming it would be a majority to pass this.
I'm absolutely a majority.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes by majority.
As for the nays.
Sorry?
As for the nays.
I'm sorry, Susan, my apologies.
No.
Thank you for that. Motion passes unanimously,
No, it's
not unanimously, 4-1. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, item number 10, AB 25-108, ordinance amending NBMC 10.20.020 and adopting NBMC 10.20 and .050 regarding motorized foot scooters. Mr. Henderson, would you please provide that report for us tonight? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Good to see you all. As we know, we've seen a lot of increase in e-scooters across the communities, especially during the summertime. So the ordinance, amended ordinance before you today would basically amend chapter 10.20 or motorized foot scooters to address potential safety concerns related to e-scooters. And this includes changing the lawful age to operate a motorized scooter from 16 years to 12 years. Reducing the lawful speed from 25 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour, allow the use of motorized foot scooters on sidewalks and public trails within the city of North Bend, and provide impoundment and penalties if a motorized foot scooter is operated in a manner that violates any of the provisions in chapter 10.20. Currently within the chapter, it requires a helmet to operate a motorized foot scooter safely, and it makes it unlawful to operate a motorized foot scooter while carrying a passenger. Basically, the origination of this amendment occurred on July 22nd, 2025 at a council work study. As you all remember, that discussion focused primarily on e-motorcycles and e-bikes. However, during those discussions, council also discussed motor scooters and recommended that motorized scooters could operate on sidewalks, lower maximum speed, and lower the age of operation to support safety in the community. During the council work study, they also directed staff to develop an ordinance for the Council Public Health and Safety Committee for review on August 5th, 2025. At that August 5th meeting, a draft ordinance was presented to the committee. The ordinance would essentially lower the maximum speed for a motorized scooter to 15 miles per hour, allow their use on sidewalks. It did maintain the age to operate a motorized scooter at 16 years, but after further discussion by the committee members, they recommended lowering the age to operate a motorized scooter to 12 years and recommended council consideration of the amended ordinance on September 2nd of 2025. At the September 2nd, 2025 meeting, City Council met to discuss the amended ordinance. That amended ordinance also included restrictions for e-motorcycles, but during council deliberations, the council decided to table the motion and the amended ordinance, and recommended to staff to create separate ordinances, one for e-motorcycles and then also for motorized scooters. And basically to bring back those ordinances to a council work study session on September 23rd. At the September 23rd work study, council reviewed a separate ordinance to address e-motorcycles, as well as review the amendments to North Bend Municipal Code 10.20 for motorized scooters. During that review, that amended ordinance basically reduced the motorized foot scooter speeds to 15 miles per hour, allowed foot scooters to be used on sidewalks, and lowered the age to operate a motorized foot scooter to 12 years. Following the discussion, council recommended to bring the ordinance to council for consideration today on October 17th. Oh, sorry, October 7th. A little ahead of myself. The alternatives before council tonight are to approve AB 25.108, an ordinance relating to motorized foot scooters, amending North Bend Municipal Code Section 10.20, and adopting a new North Bend Municipal Code Section 10.20.050 for impoundment and penalties as presented. The second alternative would be to table AB 25.08 to a future council session and provide additional feedback and guidance so staff can draft an alternative ordinance. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Any questions, clarifying questions from council? No, seeing none. Okay, Councilmember Rustic, will you please make the motion?
Yes, thank you. Motion to approve AB 25-108, an ordinance relating to motorized foot scooters, amending NBMC 10.20.020, general requirements and operation, and adopting a new NBMC section 10.20.050, impoundment and penalties as a first and final reading.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilmember Rustic and seconded by Mr. Gottoff. Thank you both very much. Mr. Rustic, do you have any comments to make to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
I bet.
So as was stated by Mr. Henderson, this is something that we've been discussing for quite some time, along with the e-motorcycle ordinance, which will come back to the council here in the near future. We're trying to find a solution that'll help make our youth safe and the public safe as they're going through town and whatnot. So I don't know that there's a perfect solution, but this is an effort to acknowledge that these scooters are something that our youth enjoy riding, and it's a good way for them to get over to a friend's house. So we wanted to accommodate for that, but also try to enhance some safety. And I know already, since this has been pretty publicly discussed in different media sources around town, I have seen changes in the youth behavior with helmets and, riding with more caution. So I am optimistic that putting this forward will help keep our youth safe. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Gottoff.
Yeah, I agree with everything Councilmember Rustic has to say. I don't think there's a perfect solution to this. I don't ever like adding, additional amendments to things that you don't have to. But, as we come into it becoming more and more popular, and as we get into the holiday season, it's going to become more and more popular. Some of the things felt unfair was, younger kids are using these motorized ones. So at 16, it seemed a little high. I know there's been talk about whether 12 is the right age. I'm not sure, we can find the right age to make it safe. And that was about it. I've heard some comments and have been made about, well, gee, it's not going to be safe for them to go 50 miles on the trail. Well, I would kind of say, I'm sure a bicycle, even normal speed riding, is going to be pretty quick and probably very close to what that 15 miles an hour. It is our hope that, parents spend time to educate their children on how to best use them and be safe and take consideration of other people on the road. But I think this is the best we could put together, and I hope it does pass.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other council members wish to comment? Councilmember Cohen.
I will not be passing this ordinance tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't like the way it's currently written because I believe 12-year-olds are too young to have the insight to know what consequences could happen to them or someone else if there is an accident. By consequences, I mean head injuries, brain injuries, face injuries, and more. I see this every day as a nurse at Harborview Medical Center. As the summer has gone by, I've witnessed e-scooter after e-scooter driving down sidewalks, not looking for safety concerns at crosswalks, and driving quickly through parking lots such as Ace Hardware and QFC. They do not realize that the drivers backing out can't always see them. I've always seen them riding with their friends on the back, so tandem style. And lastly, they at times have not been considerate of the pedestrians and their pets that they are riding past. A personal story, when my daughters were young, I would not allow them to ride ATMs, snowmobiles, or motorcycles because of all of the tragedies I see at work. They told me I was ruining their lives. Well, they made it to adulthood unharmed, and now they can make their own decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Anyone else? Councilmember Torkelson.
Yeah, I've spoke to a few parents, some citizens out there regarding this particular issue, and they're very concerned about reducing the age from 16 to 12. They've convinced me I don't think it's a good idea to change it down to 12 either. We're changing it so they're on sidewalks, but we really technically don't have a lot of sidewalks in our town, so they're still going to be going the roads and stuff like that. So I feel like this needs to be improved, and so I'm going to have to say no to this tonight.
Thank you. Any other? Council?
Right. This has received lots of attention, conversation, both in the community, amongst ourselves as council, a number of work studies. I appreciate the amount of time and energy staff has put forth in helping us come to some kind of not a resolution, but a path forward. I am not one who believes that you have rules on the books if you're not going to follow them. It's a bad look. If we adopt something, we expect it to be respected, and something called the letter of the law to be respected. We all witness youth on scooters, 2 people on a scooter, no helmets, young, in the street. Well, as has been stated by my fellow council, this isn't a perfect solution. I think it's a step in the right direction in that it brings what we witness more in line with the rules that will be in the municipal code. As pointed out by Councilmember Coland, much of this does vest with parents in providing access to these devices, if you will. I don't know what the perfect age is. I think it's less than 16, whether or not it's 12. We don't have a lot of science or insight. We have an expectation. Again, we're trying to strike this balance between parents, parental rights, what's on the books that can be enforced. Part of the reason for adopting this evening, I will be voting in favor of it, is to provide another tool in the toolbox for our police, who we expect to enforce the laws and look after us and our kids and help keep our community safe. And I think that this is a step in the right direction, and we'll be supporting it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I'll read the motion. Motion before us is to approve AB 25-107, authorizing the mayor to, wait a minute. Excuse me, 108, pardon me. An ordinance relating to motorized foot scooters, amending MBMC 10.20.020, general requirements and operation, and adopting a new MBMC section 10.20.050, empowerment and penalties, as a first and final reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, so motion carries as 3, and that's for yays, and nays are 2. Thank you, one and all.
To clarify, Mayor, excuse me, but the motion fails. An ordinance requires 4 to pass.
Thank you. Thank you. Motion does fail. Excuse me for that. And we're going to move on. So it's fails.
As to how it failed.
An ordinance requires 4 votes by the council to pass.
How about that?
The motion is to pass an ordinance and it only received 3 votes by the council.
Thank you for that clarification.
I had to ask a question. I think I would have changed if I would have known it needed to be a 3. I would have basically, sent it back to committee. So basically, if it, at this point, it kills the bill completely with no discussion. and can only be brought back by somebody who said a no, who voted no.
Correct. So the motion has failed at this point. Are you asking about a motion to reconsider?
I would, yeah, I'd like to reconsider and, maybe even, have it brought back to the council and then bring it forward when we've got more council members here to weigh in on this. Yes.
Just a moment while Kendra researches this, just for a moment for the motion to reconsider.
Thank you.
All right. So I've confirmed I don't want to say the wrong thing. The motion to reconsider must be brought by a council member who voted on the prevailing side of the original vote. It does require a second, and then debate can be held.
So what you're saying is one of us needs to make a motion to reconsider. Okay, I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Thank you both. Motion made by Mr. Gottelf and second by Ms. Rustick. Okay, so we're going to read the motion. Reconsider approval of AB 25-108, an ordinance relating to motorized foot scooters, amending MBMC 10.20.020, general requirements and operation, and adopting a new NBMC section 10.20.050, impoundment and penalties as a first and final reading. No, yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
I'm sorry, I'm not clear.
You're on the debating part of that piece. So we had a motion to reconsider by Councilmember Gotha and Rustick seconded, and now we're debating the motion to reconsider. So that's where we are. in the process.
And I guess a point of clarification, if a motion to reconsider is passed, I believe it takes a simple majority in this case, that would be 3-2. The implications of that are that is it similar to being postponed to a date? Certainly we would expect this to come back before this body at a later date. Is that what's true with this? If we affirmatively vote for the motion to reconsider, this same agenda bill will come back before us at a later date. Is that right?
Correct, Mayor Pro Tem. So if a motion to reconsider is passed by 3 or more of the council, then the council resumes the debate on the original motion. So that can include all of those different options that you've listed.
Thank you.
Okay, where are we at? Anybody else? Anybody else have any comments?
I'm not sure if it's debatable or not. My cheat sheet here from Jurassic Parliament says that whether or not it's debatable depends. So I'm not sure if it's debatable.
Well, we're going to find out.
But I think the point we're at is absent conversation. There's a motion before us to reconsider that we can take a vote on.
Yeah, okay, ready? Okay. All in favor of the motion to reconsider? Excuse me.
Aye.
Aye.
Any not in favor? Nays.
I have a question.
Go right ahead.
So
Please
the
continue.
motion to reconsider means we're taking it back to a certain date to talk about it again, but we haven't put in that date. We don't know when that is.
Correct, council member. So it's different than postponing to a date certain where we might plug in that future date, for example. This is a motion to reconsider the council's vote. So it would bring the original motion back to the floor for debate, and then you can choose whether or not to consider those options, such as moving it to a date certain for council debate in the future.
Another clarifying point. This vote to reconsider will go forward, assuming it's in the affirmative. Would a motion to postpone to a date certain then be in order?
Can I clarify if it's after the motion to reconsider if it passes? Is that the nature of your question?
Yes.
Yes, so then we would be back into the main motion, and a subsidiary motion would be appropriate, such as a motion to postpone to a date certain.
Or information, whatever. For the no's, there's certain parts of it that we would like to have changed. Can we change those at the future date, or do we have to go exactly with how this is said?
If a motion to reconsider passes, Councilmember, then a motion, for example, to amend or a motion to debate this amongst your colleagues and add amendments or suggest different changes is appropriate.
Could we just basically move to, after we agree to this, we can move to alternative 2, which would put it to a future council session and provide additional feedback so the staff can draft alternative ordinance.
Mayor, may I answer? So if a motion to reconsider passes, yes, Councilmember Godhealth, alternative 2 would be one of your options to consider.
Okay. We're at the vote.
Aye.
Okay, and we just did that. So any nays?
I think you should do it all over again because I didn't get a chance to vote.
So Mayor, you'd start with the motion to reconsider over again, so we can just start fresh and then we can go from
I
there.
would love that.
Okay.
Let's do that. Motion to reconsider AB 25-108, an ordinance relating to motorized foot scooters, amending MBMC 10.20.020 general requirements and operation, and adopting a new NBMC section 10.20.050 impoundment and penalties. For a date to reconsider? No, that's it. Just
Just the motion to reconsider.
motion to reconsider.
Yep.
That's all it is. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're,
Well, hold on, before we go on to the next, what I'd like to do is make a motion to basically use alternative 2, which is table AB 25-108 to a future city council session and provide additional feedback and guidance so the staff can draft an alternate ordinance.
Second.
okay, thank you. Motion made by Mr. Godtolf, second by Mrs. Torgerson. Anybody do they need to talk to this at this point? Or any other council? Okay. You're open to talk? No? Anybody on council wish to speak any further on this? Okay. So we're going to read this as, I'm going to take it away. Motion, alternative number 2, AB 25-108. We're going to move this to a future city council session and provide additional feedback and guidance so staff can draft an alternative ordinance. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that sounded a little clumsy to me. So if I need any corrections, please let me know. Okay, all in favor? Yeah, you got it. So that passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. We are going to move on to Mayor, Council, and Administrative Concerns and Initiatives. Councilmember Torgerson, would you take us away tonight? Yeah, great. Awesome. All right.
Turn this on. The city has a 1.7 million deficit in 2026. The Finance and Administration Committee has asked city administration to provide options for expense reductions given the significant budget deficit we are facing. And I just wanted to point out that we have some important dates of meetings coming in the future. October 14th, we have a special work study discussing our mid-biennium, I can't say that word, budget. And then October 28th, we'll have a general fund fiscal sustainability, share the revenue information. And then November 8th and 18th, ordinance adopting 2025-2026 budget, mid-budget. So I just wanted to let the community know so they can be involved and give feedback.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Colon.
Yes, so the nurse in me wants to say flu and cold season is upon us. If you believe in the power of vaccines to protect you and your loved ones, now is a good time to get vaccinated. Last I checked, QFC was offering COVID, flu, and RSV vaccines for free with your insurance, and you do need to make an appointment. They're quite busy. If you are sick, please stay home until your symptoms improve, such as Brendan Elwood, our fellow council member, to help keep spreading these viruses to our community. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Councilmember 2 as well, Jocelyn.
Nothing this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Rustic.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who donated food to the Apple Cup food drive. The Washington State Cougar fans did bring in more food than the Husky fans, but collectively we donated 325 pounds of food to the food bank. And I'm excited that there are neighborhoods out there that are running friendly competitions, and it just goes to show what a difference we can make when we all work together. So thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Councilmember Gatto.
Yeah, I'm glad we figured out a way to not lose that amendment for the scooter. I think it's something that needs to pass, or at least be able to give guidance to our residents out there. So hopefully that moves forward. I also want to continue to reiterate, I am seeing a lot of people trying to speed through the roundabouts. I mean, literally going faster than the speed limit allows. Somebody's going to get hurt, especially in the ones where there's crosswalks. So please slow down. You'll get home a couple minutes earlier, but everybody in the community will get home at the same time. So all I can do is stress that. I've seen a lot more speeding there and also in residential areas. And as it gets darker at night, kids still will be out playing, and we want to make sure our citizens are safe. So please, please watch that out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Ms. Emery, would you like to say anything tonight?
Thank you, Mayor. I have two updates. And this weekend, I was out engaging with our residents, and in talking, we were talking about a lot of the police service transition. And I just want to tell the public that we have a lovely website that Bree has created that has all the information on there. And I want to have encourage residents to go to that. And if they have questions, please reach out to us, and we're happy to answer those. And the second question I got this weekend was about the World Cup preparation that we're doing in the city to prepare for folks coming next year. And James Henderson and our emergency management coordinator, Aaron DeBerg, are working with it. And we have a task force that's been developed with our local partners to work on emergency management prep for our influx of visitors that we could have next year. So we'll have more information on our website as that comes to fruition with our partners. So I just want to pass those two notes on to our residents. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Emery. The Yard Waste Recycling Program will be held this Saturday, October 11th from 8 a.m. to noon at Public Works. This is the final yard waste event of this year. Those attending are asked to use the Public Works entrance off North Bend Way. The city is hosting a free shred event on Saturday, October 11th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at City Hall. Are you doing something at home that needs organizing? Because you need to get rid of all those old papers. I think I have some documents and old papers at home myself. This is an opportunity to do that. So please come here and you will have them shredded for you. The shredded event is open to all North Bend residents. Individuals can bring up to 2 file boxes or 3 grocery bags of documents. Please do not bring stiff metal, plastic bags, or DVDs, as they may jam the shredder. Oh, please. Not wanting to do that. Join me to meet for my meetup with the mayor series, where residents are invited to stop by, chat, and ask city-related questions that are important to you, and connect. I will be at Huckstadter Coffee next week, October 15th from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Council, just a reminder that we have a special budget work study on October 14th at 7 p.m. Thank you all. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, second. Thank you, Ms. Gordon, and thank you, Mr. Gotthelf. Everybody have a great, safe, and wonderful week.